What's up, YouTube friends and family? Hopefully all of you are doing well. Now, I have a little 2-for-1 in this video today. We're going to be doing a fragrance review over a new release for the year of 2025, along with comparing and contrasting this fragrance to two other fragrances in the line, and then one other fragrance that I don't currently got beside me here. It isn't in the line, it's in a totally different line and from a different house, but I'm going to be mentioning how this fragrance here in the review reminds me of that a little bit. And the fragrance we are going to be doing our full review over today is from the house of Giorgio Armani, and it is Acqua di Giò Elixir. Yes, I said the trigger word. Everybody's brains are going to explode. But here it is. And we're going to be going over the presentation, going to be talking about the wearability, the performance, the longevity, also projection, and then also best time of year to wear this and what occasions to wear this as well. That's what we're going to be talking about, along with comparing and contrasting, and something else. Oh, yeah. How the darn thing smells. That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. Greatly appreciate any support possible, and it helps the videos out a lot. A little tongue twister there. And I'll be right back to talk more Acqua di Giò Elixir right after this. Before we hop into this review, you all have to let me know down in the comments down below, what is your favorite Acqua di Giò fragrance and why? Why is that one your favorite? Along with, if you smelled Acqua di Giò Elixir, what do you think about this new release in the line? Do you think it's warranted? Do you like the smell of it? Very curious to hear what the community thinks of the Acqua di Giò line, along with the new release of Acqua di Giò Elixir. So let me know that down in the comments. And if there is ever a fragrance on my channel when you watch my reviews you're very interested in, I always just want to reiterate to sample, try before you buy, because I know a lot of people can get a thrill out of blind buying, but you want to spend your money wisely here, okay? So if you can't go to a department store such as a Macy's, Sephora, Nordstrom's, those type of stores, you don't got any of those around you, you can get a decant online. Hopefully you can find a good price, but I always advocate for sampling before you buying, because sometimes we don't like the way fragrances smell and we might regret buying that bottle. But let's hop into the presentation of Acqua di Giò Elixir. Okay, so here's the box here. It's all blacked out. I will say the box is a fingerprint magnet here, but you got Acqua di Giò right there. You got Giorgio Armani, says Elixir. And then basically this only comes in 50 ml as I'm filming this video. Who knows, it might come out with 100 ml later on, but you can only get this in 50. I've noticed that with some of the other elixirs, they only make a small size. I mean, Dior Sauvage Elixir, Y Elixir, they did the similar thing starting out, but at least for Sauvage Elixir, they released bigger sizes. Also, too, you got all this gibberish on the back, basically talking about not concentration, but what the materials are. Gibberish, like I said. You got the barcode right here, and then flammable, it mentions that, recyclable, and then at the bottom kind of tells you a few other things down there. And then on the side you got nothing other than that QR code right there. And let's go ahead and take this out. And what I've been doing on the channel recently is fragrance bottle tosses, so we will see if I can catch this one right out of the box. Let's go ahead and demonstrate. There it is. There it is. Got it right there. But put down the box here. Here's the bottle. Black. I really like that. And it looks like they've kind of like poured paint in here, and it's away from the glass. But yeah. So, and then on the back you got nothing. And at the bottom you got a little sticker there. And the bottle's good. The bottle's nice looking. It's sharp, I guess, like some people would say. And then you got brownie points for the magnetic cap. Let's see how good it is. Not that good. Let's try it again. There we go. Good. It's got a good heft to it. But overall, enough about the presentation. let's hop into the opening of Acqua di Giò Elixir and comparing it to the other two fragrances in this line here. I forgot to mention the other two fragrances that we are going to be talking about from the line are Acqua di Giò Parfum. This one's actually got 2 iterations. And then also too, we're going to be talking about the discontinued Profumo, one of everybody's favorite fragrances in the line. And I actually got this from a coworker. He gifted it to me right before it got discontinued, so I'm lucky to have this in the collection. But yeah, this one's actually got a magnetic cap too. It's a better magnetic cap in my opinion, but not the point. Enough about the presentation. Hop into the opening of Acqua di Giò Elixir here. And I will say with this one overall, of course, front and center, you got the Acqua di Giò DNA. But in the opening, you are going to get a big blast of citrus. And I think the notes in the opening, like every other fragrance upon existence, it seems like, has bergamot in it. And then, and there's reasons why they have bergamot in their opening, okay? I'm just giving a hard time. And then this is got mandarin, green mandarin, orange maybe in it. I'm going to go ahead and post the notes of all 3 fragrances up there for you. But this fragrance, out of the other 2 in the line that I showed you, this one is the most citrus forward for me. This one's the most fresh take on that kind of Profumo feel of that DNA overall. And with this one, you do get that lever. That lever is prominent, and that's what's in the base here. But I get a violet feel, and the fragrance that I get with that violet feel and that lever feel, it goes with Dior Fahrenheit. Specifically for me, Fahrenheit Cologne or Fahrenheit Aqua. I kind of get resemblance from this, but it's not too close. The other 2 fragrances, that's why I got them on the video today, are closer to this. But overall, in the opening of this fragrance, it's going to be the difference maker compared to these other 2. And this opening, I would say, if I had to sum it up, fresh, citrus, leathery opening overall. And you do got some spice in the opening with this one here. Now, let's talk about the other 2. Now with Parfum and Profumo, these 2 are going to be different to that Elixir opening in my opinion. This one is more green in that opening. This is more marine focused. I will say this is similar to this opening here. I do get a little bit more aquatics. This is more marine, more aquatics, but I get the smoky nuance in this fragrance right from the get-go. I do smell that frankincense and that patchouli that this one has in the base from the get-go compared to this one. I get more of that citrus green opening freshness with this. I get more of the woody, spicy, aquatic feel with this one in the opening. But these 2, don't get me wrong, these 2 are very similar in the opening overall. And when this one came out originally, it was something I was looking for in the Acqua di Giò DNA. I was like, okay, this is a mix of Profumo and Profundo in my opinion. And what I meant by that opening, you do get a lot more greenness in this one than this one here, which this one's going to focus on more of that smoky frankincense, patchouli, and opening compared to this one where I get more of that green opening overall, more mineral opening compared to this one where it's more aquatic. But I will say out of all 3 of these fragrances here in the opening, that's going to be the biggest difference of the 3. And for me personally, I was like, I'm like, which one do I like the most? Which one do I like the most? And overall, all 3 equal, okay? I'm not going to pick one. If you had a gun to my head, I'd probably say this one first because I like the mineral aspect, the greenness that this brings in the forefront, but it's very close, especially I would say the Profumo opening is going to line a little bit more with Elixir in a sense that it's got that deepness to it. And then this fragrance here is the Parfum version is going to align with that one a little bit more because you get more of that kind of freshness overall. This is more fresh than this one in the opening, I would say. So it kind of combines the 2 openings and puts it in there. But overall, I feel like out of these free fragrances, the opening is going to be the one that makes them all three stand apart. Now, let's hop into the mid of Acqua di Giò Elixir. So for the mid of Acqua di Giò Elixir here, this one is going to keep that freshness. I will say in that opening, that citrus takes a back seat. So that green mandarin orange kind of goes away a little bit. And you're going to get more of the aquatic, more of the leather tones coming out of this scent. That spiciness is going to be more ramped up. And then this is where this fragrance comes more in line with the other two fragrances. I'm going to bring them up in a second. But overall, this again is a Acqua di Giò fragrance, so that DNA is front and center. And this is going to remind a lot of people of Profumo in the mid. If you just took Fahrenheit, you took that leather and that violet, threw it in the Acqua di Giò DNA, this is what you're going to get, plain and simple. That's a little summary of the whole fragrance in general, but with the mid, it's going to be more prominent. It's going to be more known. That leather note is really going to come out. That spice is really going to come out of this one here. Violet's going to be more prominent. Like I mentioned, the citrus kind of takes a step back, and then the leather, that freshness is there. It doesn't leave. It's pretty prominent. And I will say that aquatics kind of take a step back a little bit, kind of going along with Profumo in this, getting more smoky, more deep, more rich. And that's what I get with this one here. Now, to kind of hop into the mid of the other two fragrances from the line. So with all three of these fragrances in the mid, you're basically pulling hairs at this point. This is not, I feel like these three fragrances aren't going to be something your general person that's not really into fragrances is going to notice a difference, especially in that mid. And overall, these, like I mentioned, you're just splitting hairs at this point. And this one here, I will say it still's got its green edges in the mid, and this one gets more of that smoky, deeper kind of take that Elixir has. And overall, that fresh, I get a little bit more freshness in this one compared to the other two, to Elixir and Profumo. But overall, this at its heart, you're still getting this fragrance here. This one is not as deep, not as rich as the other two. This one focuses more on that metallic, not metallic, but like mineral feel along with the freshness to my nose. You get a lot of that, and then that greenness with a lot of spice coming out overall. It's not as, this one I get a little smoke feel kind of with it, and I think it's from the frankincense. And with the leather note as well, in the violet, I get a little smoky nuance to Elixir. With this one, it's just a little pinch green. It's fresher, but it's still got that deep kind of depth that the other two have here. And it's, at the end of the day, it's Acqua di Giò's Profumo just with a twist. All three of these fragrances, you throw leather in that one, you give this one a little green feel on the edges, and overall that's what you're going to get. And it makes me question why they discontinued. There must have been something in here. It must have been a material or something, but I do like the tweaks and changes they have done to this one and Elixir overall. It's just kind of funny how this one seems like it's getting, there's different fragrances. Basically, flankers of this are getting put into the line. They're like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. It's just kind of funny after discontinuing this. But overall, it's very similar in that mid, I will say. The only thing that's really picking these apart is that leather note and Elixir there, and you get a little bit more smokiness in here, and you get a little bit more of that mineral greenness in this one as well. Kind of going back to that opening, which I feel like the opening is the difference maker of these scents, because like I mentioned, with that more citrus, more green, and this one's more kind of rich from the get-go. And I mean, Elixir is rich from the get-go as well, but you get more leather tones. This one's a more smoky nuance. Hopping into the dry down of all three fragrances, starting out with Elixir. With Elixir here, again, splitting hairs, very close to the other two. It's just that leather is going to be the biggest difference. Profumo, the biggest difference with Profumo, you got that green spice, not green, excuse me. This one, you get woods and spice. Now, Parfum is the one I was meaning that you're getting that green spiciness overall with this. Overall, you're getting spicy leather with this, and that dry down, that freshness, that aquaticness. And that aquaticness here, of course, on all three in that dry down, it's going to be around. It's in the Acqua di Giò DNA. But I feel like that spiciness, spiced leather comes out more and more as the fragrance dries down, and that freshness goes away. You do get the aquatic feel throughout the whole lifespan of all three fragrances here, but in the dry down, more spicy woody, more spicy green, and then more spicy woody overall, which these two are going to give me more of a smoky nuance in the scent, maybe because the violet leaf here and the frankincense here. And then with this one here, Parfum, overall you're going to get more of the minerally green type of feel. And in the dry down, very close, even closer than the mid. Overall, all three fragrances very similar in the note breakdown like you saw earlier, and they are appealing. It's an Acqua di Giò, appealing dry downs, of course. And overall, if I had to give accords to all three of these fragrances throughout the whole lifespan, this one just going to give you a citrus, fresh, aquatic, not green, why do I keep saying green, but leather and spicy. Then you got with this one, we're going to be giving woods, spice, aquatic, fresh, citrus. This one, green. In my opinion, like I mentioned, I get a mineral feel, so I'm going to give minerals to this as well. Spicy, citrus, aquatic, and fresh overall. Those are some accords in all three of these fragrances. Just a few different ones, but like I mentioned, very close, very similar. And I kind of feel like if you want something a little bit closer to the discontinued fragrance here, Profumo, then Elixir will be right up your alley if you kind of wanted something more deep and rich, because this one here leans more in the green side of things overall. So you're going to get closer to Profumo, in my opinion, with the Elixir. And overall, the Elixir, I'm going to give an 8.6. I think the Elixir is good. 8.5, 8.6 range, that's what I'm going to give it on my wears. I will say for performance in all three of these, very similar, very similar. So Elixir, Parfum, Profumo, all three of them. Got about 8+ hours. Pretty good for a freshie. Longevity, I will say, is a little different. I got a little bit more longevity out of this one here compared to the other two, and this one was about an hour behind on that longevity standpoint. I would say about 8 hours, but it was a very close skin. I said 8 hours for the performance, 8+, but I meant to say for the longevity, I got about 10+. And after that 8-hour mark, I would say it's very faint. I could still smell it. I could still get wafts. But these two have very good longevity compared to the Parfum here. Overall, I feel like the Parfum is one that's in that initial blast, right when you spray it on. It's going to be the one that kind of packs more of a wallop because you do get the mineral, green, citrus type of feel. With these two, it's going to be more of something that's, of course, it's going to project. It's going to have good projection in the opening and everything, but I feel like this one's a little bit better. I feel like in that opening, I get 3 to 4 feet with this. The first, I would say 2 to 3 hours, 3 to 4 feet. For this one, I would say 2 to 3 feet, and then 2 to 3 feet as well. But that is lasting that whole 8+ hours. That 2 to 3 feet is going to be lasting longer than the Parfum, at least off my skin. And then probably at that 7th hour, I would say that's where it's getting 1 to 2 feet skin scent to that 10th hour overall. And these have really good performance, really good longevity, and this has got good performance as well. It's just I could smell these more in that deep dry down. I would say for Elixir, you can wear it any time of year. It has enough depth that you can wear it in the fall and winter and early spring. And then this one, spring and summer, is going to do well as well because of that Acqua di Giò DNA, that citrus, that freshness. I will say you might want to be a little bit careful with the sprays on this one because that leather note can be, I guess, probably in high heat. I haven't tried it yet, but I've tried other leather fragrances in high heat, and sometimes they don't rock well in high heat. You just have to try it out and see. But in my opinion, all year round, this would be a great office fragrance, a great summer date night fragrance. I feel like this one would kill it, be a great option for you. And overall, if you don't have, in my opinion, this one or Profumo here, this might be something to get a sample of and try it for yourself, or if you're a fan of Acqua di Giò line, you just want to try it out, yeah, I'd recommend it. Like I said, I give it 8.5, 8.6 right now off my initial review. Fragrances always got time to grow, and I feel like this would be more of a grown-up guys type of fragrance just because that leather and that violet in it, but young guys can rock it as well. I feel like maybe 25 to 35 might be a very good, and even after 35, this would be very good, but I feel like somebody under 25 might gravitate towards one of the other fragrances in the line, but who knows? Who knows? Don't pigeonhole your fragrances is what I mentioned. That's just kind of my opinion about things. This is more kind of redefined, more grown up Acqua di Giò here overall. But yeah, that is my comparing and contrasting over Acqua di Giò Elixir. Thank you everybody for sticking around this long throughout the video. It means a lot to me. Make sure to leave that comment down below that I asked earlier in the video. And with all that out of the way, I want you all to stay healthy, be positive, be true, and I'll see you all in the next video.